Hi everybody, this is Aisha from San Mateo Public Library, and today I'm going to show you a stained glass craft. So we're not going to use actual glass today. We're going to do a stained glass craft with paper and sticky stuff. So I made this one a while ago, and it's actually kind of complicated. But you can see there's there's colors in it, there's sparkly bits, and it's see-through. So if I hold it up to the light or if I put it in a window, it would be really cool to look at. Or I guess you could even put this in a frame if you wanted to, but I think these work best if you put them up to where they can hang and the light can shine through them and you can see through on both sides. It's pretty cool. So what you need for this craft, and I'm going to show you a simple way to do this. I'm not going to redo this complicated one because I actually used a little knife to make this design. But you can do any kind of design or shape that you want. You can do a complicated one or you can do a simple one. And so I'll show you how to cut a simple shape, and I'll show you a little trick to use so where you don't have to worry about trying to cut weird holes in your paper if you want to get a hollow shape for your design. So what you need is paper, thick paper. So this is not cardstock, but it's paper that's a little bit thicker than normal paper. You can use any color that you like. I use black because I like the contrast, and it makes it's a bolder statement when you hang it in the window. You need thin paper, which tissue paper works best. I have some tissue paper here that had cut up into different shapes. I won't bother picking this up because it sticks really easily. And you need something sticky, so like in my example, to stick your tissue paper and whatever other odds and bits that you want to add to this. So this example has tissue paper and actual beads, a little see-through beads stuck to it, and they actually stick, they don't fall off. So the sticky stuff that you need, you can either use contact paper if you have it. If you're going to do a bigger shape or a full sheet of paper or something bigger than this, then it helps to kind of cut out the size that or the shape that you need, and then flatten it out, give it time to flatten out, put some big books or something, heavy things on top of the contact paper to flatten it out. Otherwise, it's kind of tricky to work with when you have to unroll it, because contact paper normally comes on a roll, but sometimes you can find it in sheets too, in flat sheets. Or if you don't have contact paper, you can use tape. And so you can use, if you have it at home, you can use packing tape, which I have here. And so the trick with packing tape, or tape that is smaller, this is a nice size to use, or nice thickness. Make sure when you're taping your empty parts that you put the tape, and I'll show you later, that you put the tape on where it's not overlapping, but it's close, so there's not a gap between the pieces of tape. And so the simple shape I'm going to show you today, I'm going to make a stained glass window, a diamond shape. And so you can see here, I already started this one and I have a little piece of tape on there, but I'll cut out a new diamond so you can see how I did that. And so I have the outline of the diamond, or the frame, and it's not just, and I didn't have to cut into the paper to get this. So I'll put this down. So one thing I forgot to mention, that you need is scissors, of course, to do the cutting. And if you want to cut a shape and you're not sure, you don't want to use the trick that I'm going to use, you probably need a marker or something if you want to do a more complicated design or shape to mark places on your paper to cut for your cutting lines. So to make a quick, easy diamond with that's open in the middle, what I'm going to do is touch my paper, fold it, not fold it all the way down, but fold it in half, and just kind of hold the edges together. But I'm not going to crease it because I don't want a crease. You can do a crease if you want, but you don't have to. And so You can use a ruler for this too if you want it to be really exact and everything, but you don't have to use a ruler. So I'm going to take the opposite side of where my little bubble, where I would crease this down on the edge, and I'll draw a little line or dot about halfway in the middle of this to give me a marker line for where I need to stop. And then from this dot or this line, I'm going to draw a triangle, and just one line to make this a triangle. So from here to this edge. And so it doesn't have to be perfect because with the scissors I can straighten it out when I cut it. So from this middle dot just to here. All right. You might not be able to see it because it's in black, but there's I have my guideline there. And so I want my other guideline for the bottom of my diamond from this middle point here, from here to here. So from one side to the other to make a triangle at the bottom. All right, there's my other guideline. So there we go. And I'll put my marker down. And now, still holding the edges together, I need to turn it because I'm a right-hander and I have to cut this way. And I'll just cut along my line from one corner. Fold it a little bit. Ah! There. To the middle. And if you're really comfortable with cutting, you don't even have to draw the lines. You can just cut a triangle, and you can just picture a triangle here from here to here, and then just cut from one side to the other. All right. Move my scraps out of the way. And then here, I have a rough diamond shape. And so now I want this to be, I want there to be an opening in the middle of this. So I'll have a see-through part. So I'll fold it again, but not crease it. And I want to cut, I can pick how long, how wide I want the diamond shape to be. And then I'll cut from here to this point here, but not all the way through because I'm going to cut into it. So pick a point, or I can mark it on here. That's where I want to stop. And then just choose a point. How thick, maybe put your finger down to measure, or you can use a ruler if you want to. You don't have to be exact. I'm going to cut in here and stop. And then I'm going to cut from the other side to the same point. Cut a little bit more just to finish that off. Pull that out. Throw that over there. Open it up. And there's my diamond shape. See-through. All right. That was pretty easy. You can do this like with a heart. You can do heart shape, circles, whatever, any kind of shape you want to do. That's an easy way to get a simple shape that has a hollow space through it without having to cut into the paper. But a cool trick to do is if you need to, if it's just too difficult to do this, or you don't want to do it this way, and you want to be able to cut into the middle of shape, is what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the edge here. Ah! So I cut that. And then since this paper, it's all one color and everything, and what people are going to be looking at when I finish it is what's going on in the middle here. What I can do is connect this with tape and decide which side the back is going to be. Let me see if I can find some tape. This works better if you have clear tape. And so just tape it very carefully. And And then you have here, you can actually see the tape I used. You can see that in the back. But that would be, I would make sure that this is the back side. But on the front, it should be, if you tape it carefully, you wouldn't be able to tell that I had cut through there. So that's another trick you could use to get a hollow shape for your stained glass window. So I'll put this one down and I'll show you the other one I started, my diamond. And I have my trusty packing tape. So I already put one piece of tape on here. Here's the sticky part. So when you're taping, make sure, or when you're using contact paper, make sure that if you go over the edges, you can just make sure, cut the extra tape from around the edges. And with the tape, I want to, right? So my first piece of tape is there. My second piece, I want it to be right next to the first one, but not quite overlapping, so that you don't get that too big of a line and you can say, oh, look at that line right there. But if you, the way you decorate it, you can probably cover it up if there's a big line there that you can see that you think might be distracting. So it's my second piece of tape. I think I need one more piece of tape to finish this off. Measure it. Tear that off. It's tricky to use this. Tape's not nice to me sometimes. All right, my third piece, I think I measured that. All right, put that down. Okay, so there's my sticky part where I can stick all my different colors and make a pattern or whatever I want to do. So you can stick your fingers on there and see there's a sticky part, and on the back it's not sticky. So I'll lay this down with the sticky part up. I'll grab my tissue paper, and all I have to do is just start sticking things down wherever I want them to go, whatever colors or shapes I want to use. Kids can be really creative with this. It doesn't have to be a neat process and perfect, and they can just let their minds go and do it however they like. This is a good craft depending on the shape and the whatever design you use. It's good for older kids and younger kids. So for younger kids, you can use simple, bigger shapes like this. For older kids, you can do more complicated ones and use more complicated materials like sequins or buttons, beads, anything that sticks to your contact paper or tissue paper. So there. So I put a few things in here. I can hold it up to the light, and you can see there's my diamond. And if I want, I could put more things in here to completely fill up this clear space, but I don't really have to, because like I said, the whole idea of this craft is to have something that shines, that you can see the light shining through, and it makes it interesting to look at. So here's a simple stained glass window. It's a fun craft. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.